Hey crafty friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is the first layout I am making using the January kits from the Hip Kit Club, and my assignment this week was twofold. It was first to make a layout using the main kit only, and the second part of the assignment was to do some hand stitching or some fussy cutting. And so what I decided to do was do some hand stitching. So what you see me playing with now is this speech bubble, and I literally just took a piece of white cardstock, sketched out roughly what I thought a speech bubble looked like, I cut it out, and then I did some hand stitching in rainbow pastel threads. So I started with like a light pink to light yellow to orange, green, blue, and purple. So I have like rainbow pastel stitching around my speech bubble. And the reason I have this giant speech bubble, and the other thing I did was I started with my title, because this whole layout was designed around this speech bubble title element. And the reason I'm starting with my title and the speech bubble is we have this wicker basket in our living room that we keep a bunch of blankets in because I'm always cold and I'm always up studying and doing random things. And so we have this basket in the living room full of blankets, and Astoria has decided that this basket of blankets is her bed now. And so like if I reach into the basket to like take a blanket, she won't hiss because it's not that serious, but she'll meow at me, and I know she's like upset that I'm fussing with her blankets, and she started sleeping in this pile. And so I was sitting on the chair the other day and she's laying on it and just looking at me with these big old beautiful eyes, and I was like, this is a scrapbook layout waiting to happen. And so here's my title. The title is This Is My Basket Meow. I started with This Is My Basket Now, and then I was like, oh, I could just change that to Meow and make it super cute. So my title is This Is My Basket Meow. And again, I'm playing with the January main kits. And the January main kit is full of color, which I needed after like this cold winter. It's cold in New York City, you guys. This last week it hit like single digits, and with the wind chill it was like -degrees. And so I needed these bright colors, and my favorite part is it's colorful without being like pow in your face colorful. Like it's beautiful muted pinks and yellows and greens and blues and everything. I'm all about it. Also, Pink Fresh is like one of my favorite companies, and there's tons of the Pink Fresh Everyday Musings in this kit, and so that's what I'm playing with right now. So what I did off camera, like I kind of edited out, was my photos printed in black and white, so I matted it on a few of the Pink Fresh papers. There's a pink paper, a blue paper, a yellow paper, and then the final paper I used was a black and white stripe, and now I'm kind of just arranging my cluster. Which, if you've seen me do this before, I just tend to dump out the entire ephemera pack on my desk and then grab bits and pieces as I go and see what works. So the first thing I did was I put down that Bright Happy Days piece on the left side, and then I grabbed some florals. There's tons of like really pretty florals in the ephemera pack, and it's not like the big ostentatious florals that I'm used to from like say Maggie Holmes or Paige Evans' more recent whimsical line, which again I am obsessed with florals. So these florals I was like, these might be hard for me to work with, and then I started putting them on the layout, and they're so dainty and pretty, and I love the way they worked out. So I put some florals on the left side and the right side of my layout, and then I added a little blue piece on the left side, and it says the world needs who you are, just because Tori's adorable and the whole world should know how cute she is. So now I'm sticking in a label just to build more layers. I like layers behind my photo. And the rest of this layout is not very it's not technically difficult. I wanted the big speech bubble with the rainbow stitching and the big title to be the focus point. And I also wanted this really pretty picture of Tori, because she's just adorable, to be the focus point of the layout. And that's why I really enjoy working with the hip kits, is because it takes all the guesswork out of it. Like you have everything you need in front of you. You can get to work. This video is almost like unedited. The only thing I edited out was, again, me putting down the alphas. I edited out me picking my paper layers, because I'm very like indecisive when it comes to what layers I want to use. And eventually I'll edit out me taking out all the foam stickers from behind that giant speech bubble, because I wanted it to be raised up. So I used like maybe 24 foam squares to raise and actually the stitching only took like 20 minutes, just because it was a really easy linear shape. Like I didn't do anything technically difficult, and I only used 3 strands of floss because I wanted it to be kind of dainty, just as this layout's really soft and pretty. The other thing I did was challenge myself to use pattern paper as a background. So this pattern paper background I'm using is from the Create Paper Hooray line. I'm sorry that a lot of this seems to be off screen. I'm using a new camera. My husband was nice to me and he bought me a new camcorder for my filming, and I'm still trying to figure out like how to center everything. But you can, for the most part, see what I'm doing. So I, set up my photo cluster. Everything looks good. I'm happy with where everything is. I glue it down, a la Missy Whitten. I learned this trick from her where you glue everything to your photo before you glue it to your page so you can pick it up and move it. I mean, like literally scrapbooking queen. If you're not following her yet, you should be, because most of what I know from like watching her. So now I'm pulling out this Pink Fresh chipboard, and it has all these frames. And I wanted to use one of the frames, but my photo's a little too big for a frame. So what I decided to do is take out those little floral bits that are inside the frames, because if you see the chipboard pack, if you have the kit, you'll understand what I'm saying. But there's like the frames, and then there's a smaller frame, and then there's some sort of embellishment in the middle of the frame. And then I wanted to pull some gold into the layout. So then I used the Pink Fresh Puffy. They're like puffy alphas. They're puffy gold alphas. And they also came with these like really beautiful floral pieces. And so what I did with those was I stuck them directly to my background and then kind of situated my photo over top. So again, nothing like terribly intense, but I love the way that shiny pop of gold looks behind. And also the ephemera pack has gold, like gold foil streaked throughout it. So I really thought it tied all the metallic together, and I just think it looks really pretty all put together. So again, the January hip kits are available. They're stunning. The February kits will be released any day now, but there's still plenty of time to play with the January kits. My only regret for this layout was because it was a main kit only, I couldn't really use the color kit. And I'm really excited to play with what came in the January color kit. But rest assured, there's plenty of time this month for me to make a mixed media mess. But when I first started doing these main kit only layouts, I was just like, oh, these are going to be terribly difficult because I can't cover my background in paint and gesso and all the things that I'm used to doing. And these main kit only layouts are steadily becoming my favorite layouts because, I mean, I feel like the products really shine. And I know that's like, I don't know. But I really like the way these layouts work out. So again, now I have stuck down my giant speech bubble. Everything's going according to plan. I pull out those gold puffy alphas again, and I use that to add some accent pieces. So I add some hearts around the layout, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, all right, this feels good. Everything feels good. I'm happy with the direction this is going. And so now I pull out those thread tassels, and they remind me a lot of the thread tassels that came in the, was it Willow Lane? Maggie Holmes had a collection that had these. I think it was Willow Lane. So I grabbed one and I just added a yellow one, and I love the pop of color and I like the texture. And so finally, all I'm going to do is, and I do this on most of my layouts these days, is add like a contrasting strip of paper. So I cut this Pink Fresh paper that I had used on my traveler's notebook layout before, so I had a tiny square of it left. I cut it down, I stick it on either side of my paper, and then I create a little embellishment cluster, and this layout is done. So again, this was not a terribly difficult page, so if you're looking for something to recreate and you don't have a lot of time, this is a really, really easy design to like interpret and make your own. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to me babble. Don't forget to head to the Hip Kit shop to grab a kit of your own, because again, the January kits are, I say this every month, I know I do, but the January kits are delicious, and I'm having the time of my life on this design team because I get to play with these amazing products every month, and it is the best. So again, head to the Hip Kit shop to grab a kit of your own. Don't forget to go to the Hip Kit Facebook group for more inspiration to see everything that the design team is up to. And again, thank you for watching. Have a great day, crafty friends, and I'll see you around.